Page 4, Down in the Valley. This is the first one in this book, book 2. Hopefully you've been through book 1, because this kind of takes off from book 1 and goes on further. So if you haven't done book 1, I would encourage you to just go through it. At least get an idea what's going on. Top of the page, they're showing you the 1 and the 4 chords and the 5, the primary chords for C major, and the broken chord patterns. Remember, a block chord is when the notes of a chord all go down at the same time. And a broken chord is anything else. There's all kinds of patterns for broken chords. They give some common ones up here. It's basically with 3/4 time with Down in the Valley or any waltz type thing. You can get these. Or this one note at a time. Very common. There's other patterns. It's up to you and your imagination. If you, the piece like this, after you've learned it the way it's written, if you want to go back and experiment and improvise and try other patterns in the left hand, go for it. But let's talk about Down in the Valley as it's written. You learn it the way it's written first. 3/4 time, no sharps or flats. Right hand, I'll talk about the right hand here. Right at the beginning. See the finger numbers 1 and 2? Actually, what we're in here is this position. You see the C chord? We have a G on the button. We just doubled the G's. It's called an extended position because we extend it out beyond the 5 fingers. So we're really in this position to start with. You stay there. And then second line on the 3rd measure. Now you're changing it from here to here. The outside notes are staying the same. We just changed the inner notes. That's a G chord. Then collapse to come up. Then lift up and go back down and do all that again. Isn't that wonderful? Left hand has the broken chords. We've already talked about it. You can do the broken chords in the various patterns. On page 5 it has the other second line. This pattern. Whatever. Put the hands together. Am I going too fast? I don't know. Slowly. Remember that D is tied. You see that there's 2 curved lines there? One is for the slur or the phrase. I'll come back to that later. The bottom one is for the tie. You tie them together. Play the first one and hang on to it for 6 counts. C is tied in the right hand, so you know that. Okay. Let's go down to the bottom. Last line, you're here. Now that C in the right hand is tied to the end of the piece. You see each of these. See, you can only tie 2 notes at a time. So if they want more than that tied together, here they got 4 of them tied together. They have to keep chaining these ties together. So you just hold the C down for what, 3/12 beats or something like that? I don't know, just till the end of the piece. It's okay because the left hand's got stuff to do to keep you entertained while that's happening. And you go, and then the last couple measures, look at the fingering. I like that fingering because this is the fingering for that chord in the left hand. It's 4th finger, not 3rd. Yes, I like that. Let's go back and add the slurs. The slurs here for the right hand. The left hand, pretty much, you're going to stay legato. I'll explain a little more about that in a minute. But right now, it's, and then lift up between the slurs. Just a little lift up with motion. Each time. Between each one. Meanwhile, the left hand's staying down. So back on page 4, the first line. I'm all lifting up in the right hand and not the left. The left hand's just doing its own thing. This is part of being independent with the hands. We got to learn to do that. So you're lifting up in the right hand and not the left. As far as the left hand goes, they don't give any articulation at all. So what I typically do, and you can experiment with this, is I will connect the first 2 notes and then I'll play the others disconnected. Not necessarily a really short staccato, but it's still a staccato. It's an interpretive thing. They don't tell me anything. I can do whatever I want. Like so. Then go back and add the dynamics. It starts out P for soft at the beginning piano. That's the right hand. The left hand has to be very soft. We want to hear the melody. The left hand has to stay under it. So this is soft. How soft do you want that? Figure that out and then make the left hand softer than that. Then at the second line there, the last two measures, you see that crescendo? You're going to go up. Doesn't say how loud to get. I wouldn't go up to maybe a moderately loud. Don't get too loud here. To here. Go up to here. And at the top of page 5, you decrescendo back down. You see when you get louder, the left hand can get a little louder too. Not as loud, but louder. And then at the top of page 5, at the end of the first line, you're coming back diminuent. That's the left hand, because once you play a note with piano, you have no control of going up and down. It dies away on its own. So the left hand has to get softer. You have to practice that left hand getting softer, because now you're back down to soft for the second line. And remember, the left hand is all legato here. You're only lifting up between the slurs in the right hand. Now you're going to get louder again. And then at the end you come back down. Like so. And that fermata at the end, you just hang on to that and let it die away. I'm going to double the value. When I play with a metronome, I just double the value. So instead of 3 counts, I'm going to hold it 6 counts. Now they're showing pedal for the last 2 measures. I don't know why. You're not using pedal anywhere else, so why use it here? I don't understand that. So in my opinion, you don't need pedal. Just play it. It's very nice. If you want to use pedal, push the pedal down right after you play the C in the left hand and lift the pedal up with the hands. And I disagree with it. Let's play it together slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'm just going to do the notes and rhythms. I'll give us 3 counts. So go ahead and put your hands where they go. Here, 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 and here. Whatever, depending on how many hands you have, I guess. 1, ready, go. Hold 2, 3 off.